Welcome, dear listener, to Wishcrafting, where philosophy meets mystery and myth breathes with the soul. I'm Wishamaya, and today we turn our gaze to one of the ancient world's most revered thinkers, Plato. Though best known as a philosopher, Plato was also a mystic, a storyteller of the soul. Hidden in his dialogues are some of the most intricate, poetic, and profound visions of the afterlife in Western thought. Today, we're exploring the Platonic afterlife, the judgment of souls, the cycle of reincarnation, and the philosopher's path towards liberation. From the Phaedo to the Republic, from the myth of air to the nature of the forms, this is more than metaphysics. This is a sacred map, and the beginning of a few episodes where we will be exploring some of these philosophical schools of thought on an entry-level basis. So, light your lanterns, and let's enter the higher mysteries of the soul. To understand Plato's afterlife myths, we first have to understand how he saw the soul. For Plato, the soul was not only immortal, it was divine. It pre-existed the body and would continue after death. The body, on the other hand, was temporary, mutable, and oftentimes distracting. He compared the body to a tomb, or even a prison. In his dialogue, Phaedo, Plato describes death not only as an end, but as a release. He writes, "The soul is most like that which is divine, immortal, intelligible, uniform, indissoluble, and ever the same as itself." He believed that the soul's true nature is rational, eternal, and connected to the divine realm of the forms, which were perfect archetypes of beauty, justice, wisdom, and goodness. Plato believed and taught that our lives on earth are shaped by the forgetting of this divine realm, and that our task on earth is to remember, to seek truth, to align with wisdom, and to purify the soul through philosophy and virtue. This vision lays the groundwork for Plato's myths of judgment, rebirth, and the very long arc of the soul's return. Plato's most vivid afterlife narrative appears at the end of his writing, The Republic, and it is the myth of air, which is E-R. And I am Southern, so I'm going to do my best to say that and not sound like I am chewing on marbles. So in this myth, Air was a warrior slain in battle. 12 days after his death, his body remained uncorrupted, and then, miraculously, he awoke on his funeral pyre. He had journeyed to the afterlife and returned with a tale of what lies beyond. And here is what he saw. Souls after death gathered at a great cosmic crossroads. Those who lived just and virtuous lives were sent upwards towards the heavens, and those who lived unjust lives descended below the earth. But after 1,000 years, all souls returned to the same place, cleansed and ready to choose their next life. Each soul chose their next incarnation, some as kings, some as animals, and some as common folk. The choices were guided not by divine decree, but by the soul's own inner condition. Of the soul's inner condition, Plato wrote, "The responsibility is the chooser's. The gods are blameless." From that realm of thought came the belief that a soul that had once lived as a hero might choose the life of a tyrant, out of pride or ignorance. Another might choose obscurity over power, wisdom over wealth. The point was not reward or punishment, but was growth. Souls who had lived wisely in past lives chose to live wisely again, and those who had not learned often chose poorly. The cycle would continue and continue and continue until wisdom led them home, or closer to their true, authentic self, which in Plato's school of thought was being more closely connected to the realm of the perfect archetypes of the forms: beauty, justice, wisdom, and goodness. In Plato's mythic vision of his story of air, Plato merges ethics, metaphysics, and esoteric philosophy. The soul doesn't merely live once, it journeys through many lives, learning through experience and testing different forms, refining itself. Rebirth is not a punishment, it's education. This belief echoes earlier Orphic teaching and anticipates later Neoplatonist, Gnostic, and even Eastern ideas. The cosmos is not a stage for divine wrath, but a school for the soul. Souls, in Plato's vision, are drawn towards what is familiar. A soul habituated to power will seek out power again. A soul trained in philosophy will choose a life of simplicity and virtue again. The key here is memory. The soul's greatest struggle is to remember what is true and to align its desires with the eternal rather than the ephemeral. So, what does it mean to live wisely in Plato's world? Well, for him, philosophy is not just logic or debate. It's a sacred practice, a means of purifying the soul, elevating one's mind towards truth, beauty, and the divine. In the teachings of the Phaedrus, Plato describes the soul as a charioteer pulled by two horses, one noble and one wild. The charioteer must guide the horses towards the heights of heaven, towards the vision of the forms. This is the soul's eternal struggle, to master its passions, to remember its divine nature, and ultimately to ascend. Plato writes, "When a man's soul returns to the world of the forms and gazes upon true beauty, he becomes winged again." So, according to Plato, the more the soul remembers, the lighter it becomes. The more it forgets, the more it clings to earthly things. In this sense, philosophy is flight, a sacred ascent, a return to the stars. Plato's vision of the afterlife shaped more than philosophy. It became a foundation for Neoplatonism, Christian mysticism, Renaissance Hermeticism, and even aspects of modern occult thought. His belief in the soul's ascent and purification through wisdom and in reincarnation itself offered a cosmic code of ethics, one not based in fear, but in striving towards truth. Today, many seekers resonate with this path, whether through meditation, study, ritual, nature-based spirituality, or simply virtue alone. We still chase the memory of who we truly are, what our core values, what our core set of ethics truly are. We still long to see the forms. We still seek to become winged yet again. Plato offers no simple answers, no heaven or hell as a reward or threat. Instead, he gives us a question, which is, what kind of soul do you want to become? And that, dear listener, is a mystery worth contemplating. Thank you for joining me in today's skybound spiral of Platonic thought. As we move through lives, may we seek truth over illusion, memory over forgetfulness, and wisdom over ease. If this episode stirred your soul, consider sharing it with a friend or someone walking their own philosopher's path. And in the next school of thought we're going to explore, we will be exploring Hermetic tradition, which is a blend of Greek, Egyptian, and alchemical thought that inspired the esoteric Renaissance and beyond. As always, if you would like to get in contact with me, everything you need to do that will be in the show notes. I always love hearing from you. Alternatively, if you'd like to support my work even more, you can check out my Patreon, where I have a lot of good things already there waiting for your exploration. Until next time, my name is Wishamaya. Don't forget to keep your roots deep and your dreams wild. See you next time.